A man leads an uneventful, everyday life, until his world is turned upside down by a home invasion, leading him straight into the path of dangerous Russian mobsters. Let's find out what happens next. Don't forget to subscribe. The film opens with a bloodied man, handcuffed and bruised, calmly reaching into his pocket for a cigarette. He pulls out a can of tuna from his coat, opens it, and lights up. Then, unexpectedly, he sets a kitten, yes, a kitten, from inside his jacket onto the table. Across from him sit a man and a woman, staring at him with questioning eyes. A man who appears as average as they come. He lives a quiet life with his wife Becca and their 2 children. Becca is successful in her own right, while Hutch works a mundane job at his father-in-law Eddie's metal fabrication company. The monotony is beginning to wear on him. His teenage son, Blake, barely acknowledges him after work, and there's a cold tension in his marriage, highlighted by the pillow that separates him and Becca in bed. One night, Hutch hears a dog barking in the neighborhood. Concerned, he heads downstairs to investigate and hears suspicious noises. Intruders have broken into the house. As Hutch reaches for the phone, a female burglar confronts him at gunpoint, demanding money. He spots a tattoo on her wrist. Just as they ask for his wedding ring, Blake rushes down and tackles the male intruder. The female approaches with her weapon raised. Hutch grips a golf club, ready to strike, but hesitates. Instead, he tells Blake to let the intruder go. Blake does, and in return, the thug punches him in the face before fleeing. The aftermath leaves Blake with a black eye and a bruised ego. Angry and disappointed, he grows more distant from his father. The police arrive, but Hutch is racked with guilt for not taking action. His family is visibly let down as the night winds down in silence. Hutch ends up sleeping on the couch. His daughter, Sammy, the only one still close to him, joins him there. She softly tells him they should get a cat. The next morning, Blake asks if he can interview Hutch for a school project about veterans. Hutch claims he was just an auditor. Becca suggests Blake talk to his uncle, who was a real soldier. As the family heads out for the day, Sammy hugs her dad lovingly. Later, Hutch's neighbor boasts that he would have fought off the burglars himself, bragging in the same breath about his flashy new car. Hutch's dull routine resumes. At work, his brother-in-law Charlie questions why he didn't fight back. He hands Hutch a gun and urges him to protect his sister. Hutch quietly stores the weapon in a box hidden behind the fridge. Eddie then approaches Hutch, discussing an offer to buy out the business. Eddie says that after years of hard work, he wants a generous payout. Hutch simply says he wants to own something for himself. After locking his office, Hutch reaches out to his brother Harry, believed to be dead, through a hidden radio channel. He admits he held back during the break-in because the intruders were scared kids, and their weapon wasn't even loaded. Harry reassures him he made the right choice, and warns him not to do anything reckless. Later, Hutch visits his father, who reminds him of the man he used to be. That night, as Hutch arrives home, his family is seated for dinner. Blake barely looks at him, and Becca gives him a detached greeting. Sammy sadly reveals that her kitty cat bracelet, kept in the same bowl as the stolen cash, is missing. Determined, Hutch returns to his father's place. His dad tells him that if he's going to do this, he better do it right. Hutch borrows his dad's old FBI badge and pistol and sets out to track down the burglars. He visits tattoo parlors, flashing the old badge, only to be mocked for carrying such outdated credentials. When they ask who he really is, Hutch replies that he's just a guy looking for someone, holding out his wallet full of cash. When the tattoo artists notice a mark matching the female intruders, their demeanor shifts. One of them quietly gives Hutch an address. At the address, Hutch storms in with his gun drawn. He demands the return of his watch and his daughter's bracelet. Their yelling wakes a sick baby, and Hutch walks away, fists clenched and filled with rage. Outside, he vents by punching a wall, overwhelmed with frustration and sorrow. He boards a bus. Moments later, a car stops it and 5 men board, thugs looking for trouble. A young girl sits alone, and the driver appears frightened as they get on. Hutch, calm but focused, gets up, asks the driver to leave, then locks the bus doors. He pulls the bullets from his gun and confronts the gang. They laugh, until he unleashes his fury. Hutch, full of pent-up rage, brutally takes down the thugs in a savage brawl. Though injured, he overpowers them all and exits the bus, apologizing to the driver for the mess. Back home, Hutch finds Becca sitting in the dark. She asks where he's been. Just like old times, he replies. As she cleans his wounds, he confesses that there's a growing distance between them, that their intimacy is gone. He wonders aloud if she remembers who they used to be. In response, she removes the pillow barrier from their bed and touches his face with newfound tenderness. Cut to a club where a loud, obnoxious man berates his driver. Enter Yulian Kuznetsov, a flamboyant mob enforcer who takes the stage, singing and dancing before joining a group of men to discuss security for the Obshak, a massive cash operation. When one man mocks Yulian's theatrical antics, Yulian responds by killing him in cold blood, asking the others if that restored their confidence. Yulian soon receives a call and rushes to his brother's hospital bedside. The boy's brain is critically damaged. A survivor of the bus incident shows Yulian a Metro card he took from the scene, Hutch's. The following day, Hutch appears refreshed. He tells Blake he's proud of him for standing up to the intruders. Then Hutch gets a call from Harry, instructing him to visit the barber. There, Hutch learns that one of the thugs he beat is Yulian's younger brother, a dangerous connection. While Yulian hated his brother, he'll still seek revenge. The barber reveals that Yulian oversees the Obshak, a high-stakes money operation, and he's beginning to crack under the pressure. Meanwhile, Yulian learns Hutch's father lives in a nursing home and begins tracking Hutch. His assistant even blackmails someone in the Pentagon to dig into Hutch's identity. The file returns with a single word: nobody. Unfazed, Hutch makes breakfast for his family and suggests a trip to Italy. But when he spots a suspicious car, he orders his family to the basement. Yulian's men, led by Pavel, storm the house. Hutch fights back with ruthless precision, killing nearly all the attackers before Pavel takes him down with a taser. Inside the car, Hutch dislocates his wrist to break free from the cuffs, blinds the attackers with a fire extinguisher, and causes the car to crash. Before Pavel dies, Hutch reveals his true identity. Hutch rushes home, calls his brother David to warn him, and opens the basement to free his family. He covers Sammy's eyes to shield her from the carnage. As Becca and the kids drive to safety, she tells Hutch to come back to them alive. Inside the house, Hutch arranges the bodies on the couch and begins speaking, to no one in particular. He reveals he used to be an auditor, a lethal government assassin who targeted those above the law. His career ended when he let a target live, a man who later found peace and built a family. That moment changed Hutch forever, and he walked away from the shadows. As he talks, he spots Sammy's kitty cat bracelet near a pool of blood. He retrieves it, then torches the house, destroying all evidence. On his way out, he grabs a family photo and steals the neighbor's flashy car as his getaway vehicle. Elsewhere, two assassins arrive at the nursing home. They sneak into Hutch's father's room, only for the old man to kill them both. Soon after, Hutch dumps a sack of gold bars onto Eddie's desk and buys the company outright. Meanwhile, Yulian watches news footage confirming Pavel's death and realizes Hutch is responsible. Hutch preps for war. He shuts down the factory and transforms it into a battleground, loading up on weapons. He contacts Harry and finalizes his plan. Hutch raids a mob-controlled location where Obshak money is being counted. He storms in, guns blazing, and sets fire to the stacks of cash, after saving a Van Gogh painting for himself. He then walks into Yulian's club, surrounded by enemies. But Hutch has planted a hidden explosive under the table and holds the trigger. Calmly, he tells Yulian he's destroyed everything he owns and gives him a choice: run away with what's left, or die trying to fight back. Hutch leaves the club as Yulian explodes in rage. Yulian calls in every man on his payroll. They descend on the factory for one final showdown. Hutch, Harry, and David are ready. They unleash traps, gunfire, and explosives in a spectacular firefight. Most of the mobsters fall. Yulian fatally shoots Harry, but Hutch kills him with a claymore mine rigged to bulletproof glass. The battle over, Hutch thanks Harry and David. They disappear just before the cops arrive. Hutch leaves a heartfelt voicemail for Becca. A kitten appears. Wrapping it in his jacket, he carries it alongside a painting as he's arrested. The film loops back to the opening scene. Hutch is quickly released, no charges filed. 3 months later, while house hunting with Becca, he receives a mysterious call. Someone still needs his particular set of skills. In the mid-credits scene, Harry and David are shown driving an RV full of weapons toward an unknown destination. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more movie recaps.